Must have figured out how to open doors.
Steven Spielberg's film, a masterpiece of cinema, sent shivers down the spines of viewers in 1993 when it brought back one of the planet's oldest extinct species, based on Michael Crichton's 1990 science fiction book of the same name. This was the first installment of the Jurassic Park franchise. The plot makes a pretense of Jurassic Park, a theme park featuring extinct dinosaurs, was built by industrialist John Hammond on the tropical island of Isla Nublar, which is located off the coast of Costa Rica. Attorney Donald Gennaro represents the park's investors, who threaten to stop supporting the park until specialists verify the island's safety after a velociraptor kills a dinosaur handler. Hammond invites paleobotanist Ellie Sattler and paleontologist Alan Grant, while Gennaro invites chaetician Ian Malcolm. The group is astonished to see live Parasaurolophus and Brachiosaurus when they arrive. The gang discovers at the park's visitor center that dinosaur DNA was extracted from ancient mosquitoes preserved in amber in order to perform the cloning. Gaps in the dinosaur's genome were filled in using DNA from frogs and other animals. The dinosaurs' chromosomes were directly altered to make them female in order to stop them from reproducing. The gang visits the raptor exhibit and watches a newborn velociraptor hatch. The group discusses the morality of cloning and the establishment of the park over lunch. Grant and Sattler voice doubts about the possibility of human and dinosaur coexistence, while Malcolm cautions about the consequences of genetic engineering. While Hammond supervises them from the control room, his grandchildren, Lex and Tim, accompany the others on a park tour. The majority of the dinosaurs don't show up, and the group comes upon a sick triceratops. A tropical storm threatens, so the tour is shortened, with the exception of Sattler, who remains behind to study the triceratops with the park's veterinarian. Dr. Harding, the guests return to their railed electric tour cars as the park staff depart on a boat toward the mainland. Lewis Dodgson, a guy employed by Hammond's corporate adversary, had earlier bribed Dennis Nedry, the unhappy lead computer programmer in Jurassic Park, to take frozen dinosaur embryos. He enters the embryo storage facility by turning off the park's security system and keeps the embryos in a container that looks like a can of Barbasol shaving cream. The tour trucks are left stranded as they approach the Tyrannosaurus Rex paddock in the park, when Nedry's sabotage cuts the electricity to them. Due to the deactivation of the majority of the park's electric fences, the Tyrannosaurus was able to get free and attack the group. The Tyrannosaurus damages Malcolm and eats Gennaro when it flips a tour car, but Grant, Lex, and Tim manage to get away. Nedry is killed by a Dilophosaurus that spits poison while he is traveling to bring the embryos to the island's ports. He also gets lost in the rain and wrecks his Jeep Wrangler. Malcolm is located by Sattler and Robert Muldoon, the game warden, shortly before the Tyrannosaurus reappears and drives them off. When Grant, Tim, and Lex seek cover on a treetop, they come across a herd of Brachiosaurus. The next morning, they find the smashed dinosaur eggshells. Malcolm's earlier claim that life finds a way is validated when Grant comes to the conclusion that the dinosaurs are reproducing because of amphibian DNA, which allows creatures like West African frogs to change their sex in a single-sex environment. Later, the three come across a stampede of Gallimimus that the Tyrannosaurus is pursuing. Hammond and head engineer Ray Arnold choose to restart the park systems after failing to figure out Nedry's code to reactivate the security system. Arnold goes to a maintenance shed to finish the rebooting procedure while the group shuts down the park's electrical grid and withdraws to an emergency bunker. Sattler and Muldoon go over after Arnold doesn't come back, only to find that the velociraptors have been freed by the shutdown. While Sattler switches the power back on, Muldoon diverts two of them. A third of them then attacks him and finds Arnold's severed limb. Muldoon is taken by surprise and killed by a velociraptor as she flees. Tim, Lex, and Grant arrive at the tourist center. Tim and Lex stay inside as Grant leaves to search for Sattler. Tim and Lex escape as the raptors show up and follow them around the kitchen, locking one in a fridge before Grant and Sattler join them. When the party arrives in the control room, Lex fixes the park systems so they can get in touch with Hammond, who makes a help call. The two surviving raptors corner them as they attempt to escape, but the Tyrannosaurus shows up and murders them as the party runs away. Malcolm and Hammond arrive in a jeep, and they depart the island in a helicopter. Hammond and Grant decide against endorsing the park. How is it possible to clone dinosaurs? An ancient mosquito trapped in amber has been found. The crew at Jurassic Park clones the dinosaurs using DNA taken from the dino blood that is kept in the mosquito. Additionally, they fill up the gaps in the organism's genomic sequences by using the DNA of frogs and other similar animals. In what ways do the dinosaurs get out of the paddocks? Hammond's corporate adversary bribes Dennis Nedry, the dishonest lead computer programmer, to obtain the dinosaur embryos when a tropical storm strikes Isla Nublar. Dennis does this by turning off the security system, securing the embryos in a shaving cream can, and then heading out into the storm to deliver the package. He gets murdered by the paralyzing venom of a Dilophosaurus after further colliding with his Jeep. At the same time, Hammond's visitors, including his grandchildren Peter and Judy, are waiting at the T-Rex paddock since their tour vehicle has broken down because the security system has been disarmed. The goat is also tied near the parking lots in an attempt to entice the T-Rex to expose itself to the visitors. Unfortunately, the T-Rex effortlessly breaches the security barrier and attacks the group when it comes to eat. What became of the gang following the attack by the T-Rex? The T-Rex murders the lawyer, scarcely hidden from the beast. Malcolm is hurt and passes out. Tim, Alan, and Lex flee. Alan and Lex must rappel down the abrupt, steep drop within the enclosure, while Tim is stuck inside the automobile. The T-Rex tries to topple the car by pushing it close to the edge. While the car is being tossed off with Tim inside, Alan manages to escape with Lex by grabbing onto a wire at the edge of the road. Alan saves Tim after the automobile gets stuck on a tree. On the journey back, what do Alan and the children discover? Alan and the children discover broken dinosaur eggs while returning after their escape from the T-Rex. All dinosaurs were girls, Tim remarks, quoting his grandfather. Alan connects the dots and explains that the researchers filled in the gaps in the genome sequencing by using frog DNA. In a single-sex environment, some African frogs have been known to switch sexes, suggesting that some female dinosaurs might also have the ability to do so. In the visitor center's kitchen, Lex and Tim narrowly escape capturing one of the two raptors in the freezer, as Ellie makes a desperate run from them after turning on the power grid. Midway, they both run into Alan and Ellie. The raptor nearly opens the door, while Ellie tries to reset the lock system, demonstrating its level of intellect. As the raptors smash the glass and enter the room, Lex manages to restart the system. A T-Rex kills the raptors after the four make their way to the main exhibition area. Malcolm and Hammond pick up the four, and the six use a helicopter to get off the island.